I'm so sorry. I did you so dirty, AudioFly. I did you so dirty. I have an AudioFly sticker on my car window. And I got a couple audio stickers on there. Fostex for reasons, this. I think I still have my 64 audio sticker on there. What else is on there? Mini Rigs sticker. AudioFly was the first sticker, though. Because they were the first company to send really nice stickers with their gear. Is there a Shelly Labs in there? I don't think there's a Shelly yet. There will be. I fucked up, and I have to apologize publicly to AudioFly. Because they're one of the first companies ever that sent me IEMs. Like, ever. Like, way back in the day. They're like, hey, we're an Australian company. We make IEMs. And, would you review some of them? And I think the AudioFly 120s were the first ones. And they were like a $500 set of IEMs. And I listened to a couple previous expensive sets of IEMs, and I was not sold. Westtones and expensive Shores. But the AudioFlies were fucking good. Like, they were like, that was it. And no one, AF180s? I think they were AudioFly 180s. AF180s were it. It's all you needed. It came in the fucking beautiful case. They zipped up. Oh my God, it's so good. And then they sent me the 1120s, which were their next top of the line one. And those were so fucking good. And then they disappeared for like a year from my emails. And I'm like, all right, companies come and go. Or they talk to me, they don't talk to me. And last year, while I was still in my old apartment, they got back to me. I'm like, yeah, we were restructuring. I think they had a legal problem with there were like patent fights with some of the things they were doing. They were suing other people. They were getting sued. Didn't matter. Because they're like, all right, look, we sorted it all out. We're ready to do this again. And they sent me the AudioFly AF140 Mark II. And I got them, and I put them in my head for half an hour and went, wow, these are really good. Take them down. Fast forward a year, I leave my old apartment, move here, start organizing, taking things out of boxes, and then I find the AudioFly 140s, and I go, fuck, I should have probably reviewed those IEMs. I haven't heard from them on email. They just disappeared again. But I'm like, all right, I'll do it. So I start listening and listening and listening, and I go, holy God, these are amazing. And then something happens, and one of them fucks up and starts making a noise. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I go to Amazon. I find this pair for $150, and I buy it again. It's my bad. I have kept them on hold. I'll buy the other set again. Patreon money. That's what it's for, to buy fucking items to review. I buy it back in January. This is where it gets interesting. I buy it back in January. These AudioFly 140s. I get them. Okay. These sound fucking really good. Put them on the burn-in rig. Because you got to burn in all the IMs. There are two dynamic. There are single dynamic, two balanced armature. And they're out of stock. And they're out of stock. So I bought a pair, and now they're out of stock. They're out of stock. It's now March, and they're still out of stock. And I don't think they're ever coming back. So I did them dirty. I did AudioFly dirty. At least I got my $150 or whatever portion Amazon gives them. But now it's time for the review. And I think to make up for it, I'm going to link every currently available AudioFly product, because I fucking forgot what comfort was. Because we talk about sound quality all day here on Z-Reviews. How does this sound? How does this sound? And no one understands that comfort comes first. When I used to describe this a long time ago, when I get a new headphone, I don't put on my head and immediately plug it in and listen to music. That's not how headphone reviews work here at Z-Reviews. You get a headphone, wired, detachable wire, doesn't matter. You put it on your head, and then you proceed to not listen to music for as long as you can stand to wear a fucking earmuff indoors. Because that's what headphones are. They're just earmuffs that happen to make sound. If you put on a set of headphones and don't play any music, how long can you stand those headphones? Because when they're making music, they're distracting you. They're doing their job, and you're like, oh, these are kind of uncomfortable, but you're enjoying the music or whatever. If you're just listening to them, that's one thing. But if you're just wearing them, now it's a whole other thing. It's a whole other set of brain functions that are like, wow, want this to stop. And have you ever put in IEMs and then just not played music? Sometimes they're comfortable. Sometimes you could live with that. But sometimes it's like, holy fuck. The act of the music playing is what distracts you from the uncomfortableness of headphones or IEMs or anything that you're on your personage. And I forgot what comfortable was, because look at these little tiny motherfuckers that weigh nothing. $150 set. So right in the Legacy 3 to what's Legacy 5? It's more money, right? It's more money. Legacy 3, under OH10, which are like heavy duty fucking steel balls that fit in your ears. So detachable wire, I want to point out. People think they're not detachable. It is an MMCX connector. This is a little tiny plastic IEM clamshell. It weighs nothing. It's so small, no part of it touches my ears. And that's the first thing you notice, is you put these in your ears, and it's like, I feel a tip. Giggity. And these are these the small tips? These are a small tip. Most IEMs have the larger gauge thing, and I think these are actually Daconis still. They're just these smaller Geminis, not the Mercuries. And I have those in there, and these are rare sets. I almost never see IEMs use a small tip. But A, how the fuck did you fit a dynamic and 2 balanced armatures in something so small and light? Because it feels like nothing. And then, wow. The second thing is just wow. Just what's the next bullet point? W-O-W. There's nothing to look at here. They're just very plain gray. The wire it comes with is fabric. This is AudioFly's wire always. These have a white wire. They had a couple issues where the white wire had white wires up here that were see-through, and they were turning green from moisture exposure, so they had to fucking retool the thing because it was different wire. So they've come places. It isn't like the best IM from the beginning. They had a couple hiccups here and there. But my fucking God, they never fucked up sound. Packaging, this, and then we got this, and inside of this is all of this. And nice case, by the way. Just look at the suede. Their packages used to be really quirky, like canvas boxes. Maybe these are Comply tips. These might be Comply tips. It looks like we have multiple Comply tips. This might have been the first IM that came with these. Bulk, small, bulk, large, bulk. So I usually, you know what? I use a medium and a large, so I might have still pull out my thing. You've got the standard complement of airplane, 1/4-inch adapter, little brush. You've got a bunch of big silicone balls with a little wire clip, and you got tri-flanges, a whole fucking bag of tri-flange. Like, this is the proper amount of tips you should give for a $150 IM, because tips cost nothing. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. Like, Dakoni should be selling at least like I would say if Dakoni sold a $75 like little screw top bottle that held 25 pairs of tips, that would be everyone would just buy that. It'd be done. Buy that, give a couple to your friends. They run out, they buy their own bottle, whatever. We know how much tips cost, but tips matter, and they give you a fuckload of them. So you got this wire that's fabric. It always has a little bit of a jank in it, but it's so thin and light. Like, everything's thin and light, but not cheap feeling. I've reviewed things that are thin and light and cheap, and I hate it. This is thin and light, and like, look at this fucking breakout. It's a box that goes from the fabric to 2 individualized twisted wires, which is a simple piece of clear tubing around it. Very, very extreme ear wrap. This is usually I start like here. This is all the way down there. Look at it. It weighs nothing. I can't describe to you what it's like to go, because I do IM after IM after IM after IM. And you put them in, it's like, oh, that's pretty comfortable. Oh, that's pretty comfortable. Oh, his Legacies are pretty comfortable. Oh, these fucking Dunu's ends are pretty comfortable. And then you put on a really comfortable pair of IMs. And you're like, oh, fuck. Why can't everything be this comfortable? So, have you seen them? I want to put them back in my ears and give more description of sound, and I like to do that. They're so light. Jesus fuck. And the thing is, like, okay, you make IMs out of metal because it's better for the acoustic trappings that trap the eye. But these sound fucking amazing, and they're made of shitty plastic. Or not shitty, but super lightweight plastic. So what's your excuse, everybody else? Getting that to seat properly. So, if I had to describe these in a word, it's balanced. When people were sending me Shure IEMs, like, Shure, that's the brand name, that's Shure right there. These are the ones that are the IEM to beat, and they were not, because they were boring as fuck. Everything I listened to on it was like, yeah, that's the song, I know, that's the song, but I don't want to hear it right now. Like, I really didn't want to hear anything played in a Shure IM. There was no soul to it. And these are as close as you can get to neutral, while still being exciting enough to be like, oh, I want to hear this next song. It's so bizarre because it doesn't even feel like I'm wearing anything, because they just disappear. The wire is light, everything's light. And you can't buy these anymore. And I'm so pissed. The bass is just enough. It's not like these are a bass IM. The imaging is startlingly good. I just the vocals are so clear. Rage Against the Machine, he's up on stage live talking. It just sounds like I'm listening to a man up on stage talking in the back of my brain. He's breathing on me. And I could hear him just gently moving left and right. Jesus Christ. Like, all the details there. None of it is nothing's hidden. Nothing's buried underneath any sort of veil, or it doesn't feel like they put on any. It feels like I'm at like the Oscar night and all the dresses and all the celebrities are see-through. So they're all just naked. They have the shape of a dress, but I could tell exactly what's going on underneath. That's what it makes the music sound like, which is a weird analogy, but you're thinking about it now and it's kind of hot. Hold on. This is going to kick on. Running it off, by the way, the IFI Zen can. Not the Zen DAC, the one that's just a headphone amplifier, which I said I was going to whip out for a bunch of IM reviews. No X-Bass, no 3D. I would probably... Ooh. You know, the X-Bass does its X-Bass magic. Does not need it. On lowest gain, by the way. Wow, wow. It's just... It's so imminent. The sound is not intimate. Imminent. It's like it's squeezing through that little tiny tube and just exploding in my ears. It's like... Whoa. But it's not like, oh, that's too intense, or that's too much treble, or it's too much mid-range. It's blossoms in your brain. And there's not many IMs that sound like this. And I don't know what it is. It's just AudioFly tuning. The fact that it's using the smaller tubes, which I never see. They're so fucking good. I'm singing to Sign of the Judgment from the Macintosh Cousins. I don't know. It's good. These deserved my love, and they deserved my love a year ago when I had them before I broke that set, because I think I put them on the burner rig and then fucked up. And then I just bought them again to give this review, and now they're not available, and you can't buy them, and it's sad. I want to not be sad. She's sad. Tiger's sad. I'm sad. I wish I sound demoed. Like, this is like the first pair of IMs that I wish I sound demoed, because none of you are going to fucking believe me. They don't even make sound. There's hardly anything coming out of there. I'm at 2 o'clock on low gain, and they were blasting just now. You can't tell. They're just making so much, so little precise little dimples of sound. It's being fed into your ear to go, and it sounds so fucking good. They're a neutral IM. They're probably one of the most neutral IMs. I've listened to those. I had U12Ts. Those are like the neutral IM to be all neutral IMs. And this is like, okay, that, but, 3 tubes instead of 12. It's, fuck. I'm sorry, AudioFly. Please, I'll email you and email me back. There's got to be, what do you have? I opened up their page. AudioFly, here they are. By the way, they're 400 Australian dollars, which I don't know what that means, but I know one thing. Australia is probably the worst place to live to want to have audio. Probably the worst. Second place, Canada. Like right, which way is north? That's that way. Canada. Canada bad. Canada can't get half the shit. Like, go to Amazon.com that find a product you love and you want it. Change it from .com to .ca and it'll be like, nope. So it's Australia, Canada. We had this discussion. I think Mexico's pretty bad. Where are the worst places to buy audio gear in the world? Because those are the bottom three as far as I can tell. As far as you just don't want to live there. Can't live there. Can't do my job. I'm definitely not using Deconi tips. You know how I could tell I'm not using Deconi tips? These are complies. I squeezed them and they haven't blossomed back up yet, which is also why they're not fitting perfectly. So I must have had another set of these little complies and I'm using those. They're not bad. I don't mind compli tips when they fit, but I do mind when I squeeze them and they don't come back to life. You know what? It's cold down here and I think that's what it is. It's cold and I squeezed them in the cold and now they do have to warm up. But yeah, the IMs here, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to fly. Here, let's go back to what you have. They, by the way, have a headphone section, so I think they have an AudioFly headphone. But the brand new AF110s, check them out. $100. They look exactly like the... I love that they look... Where the fuck is my box? Get the fuck over here. I'm whipping out the box. By the way, link to this watch case in the description, because this is where Zeos keeps his fancy IMs. Or the IM... Actually, I stopped putting things in here and started keeping them in their own boxes because then I have to lose wires and things, but here they are. This is their top of the line, and you can see the wires a little bit discolored and green in the middle. I don't care. But this is their top of the line AudioFly 1120. And it is the exact same fucking case as this. Maybe a modicum wider? Maybe? Or not even? What company can get away with that? Putting everything in the exact same case and then improving it greatly every time. Because these are... I took these out recently because I needed to get a sensitive IM before I had the Dunu Zens to test that. I needed a sensitive IM, and these are pretty fucking sensitive. And I put them in, and I'm like, oh fuck, I forgot. I literally forgot. I keep forgetting how good AudioFly products are. I've got all these other products in here. Look at my case of product. The Chacones, I got blondes in here, BLO3s, those count. $30 IMs belong in this case. I think this is just wires. What are you? Oh, the S8s, FH7s, OH10s. What are you? Shure tapes, not the pros, the original Shure tapes. I should put the pros in here. The Skedger cable with the OH10s, and then I got the OH7s, which are just like those murder ball $900 bass cannons that look like Xerxes head. I gotta go through this. But you know what? Never even crossed my mind to take these out of the box. Like, not out of the box, not to use them, but out of the box and put them in a fucking bin somewhere. AudioFly was the first. I think it's just one of those things where like, oh, I've grown up since then. I don't need to have AudioFly IMs because, I've got all these other ones. And I think it's weird. I think human nature. Like, you started somewhere, and of course, the first thing you get, you want to distance yourself from that because you're moving on to bigger and better things. Why? They're fucking great. They're great for the same reasons you thought these were great. You didn't replace them. It's one of those instances where I almost got spoiled by them. And every other IM was like not coming up to spec. And now here we are in 2021 and I just want more new AudioFly stuff. I wish they used the big tip and not the skinny tip so I could use my own IM tips, and that's a big thing about tips and tip and tip and tip. But fuck it. Not butt fuck it, but fuck it. Are these also the small ones? These are also the small ones. It's such a weird design. The tube is completely hollow all the way down. I've not seen IMs that like resemble the AudioFly stuff and deliver sound in the same sort of way. So I apologize, AudioFly. Links to every AudioFly product I could find on Amazon, and if their website will be down there. Have faith in the Australian audiophile. Tyga in the description. Patreon and Subscribe Star, which again paid for the replacement that I fucked up. So thank you for everyone who supports me, because now I feel less bad, but I mean I still feel bad. Get to see these reviews early. Participate in the yard sales, which these will not be in because I'm not going to sell the set again. Although if I sold it, I'd take it at a loss. but I would also be getting a set of AudioFlys out into the public where someone else could speak the good word. You know what? AudioFly 140s in the yard sale. It makes more sense. They'll just end up on my shelf. And I'll compare them to things, but I think if someone else has them, at least they could, like, pass them around. Literally make these the slut of the fucking wherever they get bought. Missouri, they're bought in Missouri. Give them out. Have you heard these AudioFlys? These AudioFlys are great. Try these AudioFlys. I feel like that'll be a better fucking solution because I'm just going to keep the 1120s, which are the big boys. That sucks that they're not available anymore. Maybe I'll get the 110s because even the cheap ones are still good. These are really good, and these are fucking stupid. Like, absolutely deserve to be. I think they were $800, $900, like a lot. These are a lot, and they don't weigh anything. It's the same fucking thing. No way, but they fucking worth it. See your reviews early. Participate in yard sales. $10 a month. Behind the scenes private Telegram chat on my phone somewhere. Where you can ask me any questions, and I can go praise AudioFly in there, and I can pound it into your heads. Try them. And then what else is there? Hi-Fi Guides forum, and that's it. I'll see you all tomorrow for another review. I do this daily. I do unboxings daily, and I do cooking videos once every 7 months. Even though I eat every day, which is weird. Should I have all the day? Anyway, her again. The freak out on her face. The sorry. That's me. That's my sorry face. Now you know.